Fear of failure is good. Fear of failure will keep you up at night, planning and rehearsing and going over contingencies. Fear of failure will keep you training hard.
What's up, guys? Rico Capital back again for another video. This video I will be answering members' questions, and this is the part 2. So if you haven't seen the part 1, go check it out. Not in specific order, but I will be answering a lot of questions in this video as well. So if you're a new trader or somebody just getting started, or an aspiring trader, working your way through the journey, hopefully this video helps you, as some of these questions are going to be very helpful to my members as well. So first question, let's jump right into it. How to manage trades during scalp trades. So I like this question, and so many reasons I like this question is because when you're scalping a trade, usually you're on a smaller time frame. I would even say 10 minutes, 5 minutes lower, right? I would say 5 minutes for me. Some people get on the 1, 2, 3 minutes. That's pretty crazy to me. For a scalp, for me, I'm on the 5 minute for sure. And it has to be something, kind of quicker. You're looking for something just, in and out kind of thing, nothing too long. So how to manage trades during scalps, and that's easy. So if you're going for a scalp, you're going for something kind of risky, right? And I don't mean risky where the move is necessarily risky, but you're probably buying some lottos or some options expiring that day where it's going to be an intense swing in your direction or against you. So you have to nail your entry pretty right. So if you're on the 5 minute here, and this is where I would kind of, do it, where we got above a zone here, 506.41 right here on QQQ, and 505. So this demand held. The moment we opened up above this, I want to be looking to take some calls, and I want to see if we get a nice push just like that. See, even just this 5 minute candle from 506.51 all the way up to 507.48.9, almost a dollar move right here, pretty much a dollar move in this candle. And you're looking exactly for something like this where you enter and it starts working in your favor, and you want to turn around and start selling into the move. And what that means is if you bought 5 contracts and you bought them right down here, I want you to be selling into that move, meaning as the move is happening in your direction, not only are you just watching it happen, you're selling into it. So 5 contracts right here, one sold 1 for 10%, 3 for 10, 20, 30%, and then the rest out 40, 50%, something quick like that. And how I would manage that is this. I would turn around and sell 10, 20%, immediately put the stops of a buy on the rest, and let's see if it's a really good, play. First of all, if it's something faster where you turn around and take that 10, 20, 30%, then take it quick, and you don't really need to necessarily do too much. If you manage to nail your entry, then it really shouldn't go against you at all. Now, say you enter right here, right? And then this next candle opens up on the 5 and it goes against you a little bit. Well, now you have to evaluate things. Now, is the play invalidated? So no. We're still dancing on top of this demand. Buyers are still here. We know we're going to push up at some point. We're just on the 5 minutes, so it looks a little bit crazier, right? So you want to be thinking logically, right? I'm not looking at price. If I'm on lottos right now and it's going against me, I'm not looking at my price. I don't care how much I'm down or up or whatever. I'm focused on the trade. This right here tells us we've been down, but the trade is still very much valid, not even close to being validated. So 5 minutes goes by, you probably felt like forever. You're like, oh my God. Next 5 minute opens up, and then you're like, okay, we're in a good position here. We opened up again above this demand. Buyer stepped in, and we got that push from there. Take off your stops, take off everything, sell into the move. Sell, 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 sell. You need to be all out in that nice candle right here. And that's how I would manage the trade. It needs to be kind of quicker. The more you feel like you go into the intentions of a scalp and you're holding past 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the longer it's going to be, the odds are kind of stacked against you, where maybe you didn't see the trade right, or maybe you need a higher time frame candle to open up above that, where then you would see more kind of step in. But I would suggest nailing your entry and just getting that 10, 20, 30%, because that's what the scalp's all about. So that's how I would manage scalp trades and a faster play like that, something you're kind of small, you're sized down on, you're just getting that 10, 20, 30%. So that's how I would manage it. Next question. Avoiding intraday traps, puts, calls near lows, highs respectively. Okay, so this is a really good question as well, right? How do you know if they're trying to trap you, sellers down at the bottom right here, or how do you know not to buy calls at the top and it kind of reverses, right? So let's give an example on NVIDIA. We played lotto calls on Friday. And so how did I know to sell out up here and kind of get out of that as the premium was in our favor? And that's easy, because knowing we had, you got to have your levels, right? You got to have your levels charted out. You got to have, your charts ready to go. That's going to tell you where everything's at. That's going to take the guesswork out. I knew that if we held this 136 and we pushed into the supply, if we push above the supply, more than likely we're going to run to 140, 139. But very interesting, watching QQQ around that same time, Q was hitting a 509 level right up here, and I don't think it was going to break above. So I did not think NVIDIA was going to be able to run to that, but I do know sellers are up here. And so we know sellers are up here because this was the same kind of location where we sold off kind of heavy, after that. So even I can put a line where that intraday, that same day, which was the high right here, is 139.30. So let's just mark that real quick, 139.30. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just put 139, whatever. I just want to show you. Now looking at where we were today or on Friday, look how we stopped out about 139.35. That's what I'm saying. We stopped out at 139.35, not 139.30 exactly. So that's why I didn't really care to the penny. You just need to know where there's going to be sellers or some resistance. So notice how we reversed up there a couple days ago. So I knew sell up here. Even if we got a little bit more of a push, I would say 50 cents, less than 50 cents push into this supply, we're going to reverse. It was inevitable. So take in consideration your contracts, the calls you're in, if they're short dated, capitalize on that delta squeeze as the price increases and sell into that. So this is a good way to avoid having your levels and looking around the market to see if that supports it, right? QQQ kind of did the same thing. And so I knew, all right, if QQ is not going to break out here, then this NVIDIA is going to be maybe a false breakout as well. Same thing for Google too, right? Top of supplies at open, is it going to break, or is it going to be a false breakout? And it's exactly kind of what happened as well. And if we look back at QQQ, kind of down here as well, where I knew we'd drop into this 503, 502 earlier in the week. And I knew under 502.31 puts could work if we were in downside pressure. Even though this was, and it seemed like downside pressure, this was still very bullish because this was just filling a gap that we held. We also held weekly lows. There's a lot of support down here. So this is where risk on for calls would be. Say you slam those calls right there, you would have been up end of day, gapped up, and then of course end of Friday you're up big now. Now you're up about 7 points right there off of that. So knowing, don't be chasing shorts down here. We have a lot of supply, a lot of demand. We have a lot of buyers here. We have a lot of liquidity to be able to withhold, the support. So always have your levels and kind of look around the market to say, does this, support what I'm about to do, right? If Apple's ripping like this and still going, and QQQ, is holding, kind of, people are trying to get short Friday morning. I wasn't getting short at all. Had to make sure though calls are still good. But right there is where you kind of notice, like, okay, I held a yellow trend line. Trend is still up. Apple's ripping. Tesla was ripping. We have select names ripping. So very good analysis, kind of looking around. So look around the market, have those names that kind of in tangent with each other, and make sure that you're not, going head first into a firefight when nothing else is supporting it. So let's go on to the third question here. Second guessing, overthinking, causing delayed entry. So I think this is a big one too, right? Where sometimes you're in your head a little bit and you see the play and you're like, you're letting your emotions kind of get to it. And the best thing you could do is be consistent with your strategy, right? If my zones tell me it's time to go, meaning it's time to slam calls because it's bullish, there's plenty of times where I'm just like, I don't really want to do this, but the strategy is telling me that I have to go. So a lot of times I just ignore my feeling. I ignore my feeling and go with my strategy, because I would much rather lose sticking to my strategy than than being right, being emotional with it. I would rather not have those emotions. I would much rather stick to my strategy, the zones. I would much rather, have that consistency in what I do than, pick and choose. Because what happens if I pick and choose just like this and, all right, I don't want to take that. And then it goes and now you're FOMO, now you're chasing, now you're, behind on the move. Okay. So things like that. I want you to be consistent with your decision making. Sometimes second guessing, will just hinder you. It doesn't matter, right? Take the shot. Have your parameters, have your stops on, have your brackets, and if it's your entry, nail your entry. If it's time to go, it's time to go. Plenty of times I've had to take those calls or puts that I really didn't want to do it, but it told me to do it, and we won. So me and the team. So plenty of times, just trust your system, stop second guessing, get out of your head, and be a trader. A trader, no fear. Trade what you're seeing, not what you think's gonna happen. Of course, we all think something's gonna happen, but it doesn't matter, right? So read the room, read the charts. Is there anything else supporting your move? Things like that, and then go for it. No fear at all. Get out of the emotional state and get into paying attention to the move in the trade. So focus on that, and I promise you, if you focus on these kind of 3 things that I told you with the 3 questions, focus on that, you'll find consistency in winning nonstop. And I'm telling you, try it out. If you don't believe me, try it out. Have a system though. First, get a strategy, get an edge, know where buyers are at, know where sellers are at. And then from there, dial in the emotional side from there. So I think that's the hardest part. Easy part is kind of just charting and things like that. You can learn that quick. From there, learning, how to handle contracts, how to handle size, how to handle, when you just step back and be patient and things like that. So, like I said, stick to those 3 things I said. Hopefully it helped you out. Like, comment, subscribe, share it to someone that needs it. Join the team if you want to be a part of the team. WAP.com/Rico Capital. We're killing it every single day in the market. We're showing up. We have a strategy. So get you access to my Discord, get you access to my private Twitter where you get my live trade alerts. You get market updates, and of course I have a range of services, one-on-one mentoring, teach you how to find these levels, teach you how to play it, and a bunch of stuff like that. So go check it out. And if you don't want to spend any money, I have a bunch of free YouTube videos. Go check it out, how to chart, how to find good setups, high conviction setups, and then how to go play it. I give weekly recaps every week of the team and how we do, and we're absolutely killing it. So go explore, go check out those videos, and I'll see you on the next video.
Gotta step out.